SPNation. Ako po si Coach Hammer Martin Antonio. Maganda na agad yung kwentuhan namin dito. Sana kayo rin ay nasa mabuting kalagayan ngayong araw ng Biyernes. Ano ba yun? Asais ng Desyembre. Asais. Ako po si Coach Hammer. Nabanggit ko, Martin Antonio, Ayel Banal, Dino Lee, Team Black Friday, Team 1 Black. Week delayed po kami sa shopping.
Patanong ko lang, naiwan nyo.
Belated Happy Thanksgiving doon sa mga nanonood sa atin mula sa North America from last week. Di namin kayo nabate. Pero ngayong linggong ito, dahil patapos tayo ng weekend, muna ko, congratulate ko muna lahat ng mga politiko na nagpapaparty dito sa Quezon City. Ang sarap ng parking namin. 3 blocks yung layo. Pero more than that, masaya ako dahil kasama itong mga mamang to at meron kayong mga konting pag-uusapan ngayong araw na ito. Mainit at magagandang talakayan dahil basketball ang ating pag-uusapan. Tingnan natin itong ating mga topics for tonight. KQ in his last dance with LaSalle. Bay Area stronger than HK Eastern. Of course, NBA Cup bracket predictions. Yan ang una natin pag-uusapan. And SPNation expert picks 3-0 kami ni Kuya Willie Miller nung Monday. Kasama pa yung plus 15.5 over. Pasok na pasok sa banga.
Tayo din last week. Ano tayo?
0-3. At least consistent. Sweep the whole time. And speaking of consistency, puntahan na natin ang ating first topic for this Friday evening. Okay, so the NBA Cup bracket has been set. May mga nanalo, may mga natalo, may mga pumasok. Pero ang pinaka-importante, hindi pumasok ang LA Lakers at ang Indiana Pacers who played for the NBA Cup last season. So tingnan natin ito ang mga matchups natin for the NBA Cup. Number 4, Orlando Magic will be at the number 1 Milwaukee Bucks. The number 3, Atlanta Hawks will be at the number 2, Knicks. Ayan, nandiyan sa bracket sa baba. Yan yung Eastern Conference. And on the Western Conference, the number 4, Dallas Mavericks will be facing the number 1, Oklahoma City Thunder na throughout the season. Maganda yung itinatakbo nila, gentlemen. And the Houston Rockets, which is one of my dark horse picks, will be facing your Golden State Warriors.
Yes.
Gentlemen, anong basa nyo rito?
Go ahead, Dino.
Ano ba? Isa-isa ba tayo? Or
Sige. Isa-isa
Break lang natin. Una muna natin na itong
OKC Dallas.
OKC Dallas.
Ay, ganda ng lalaro ng OKC eh.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 17-5. If I'm not mistaken, they're the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. And then for Dallas, it's they're 15-8. I think they're maybe 5th and 6th. Basta marami sila katabla eh. Marami sila katabla doon. This isn't their first meeting against OKC. They had their first meeting a couple of weeks ago, wherein Dallas visited Oklahoma and won that game 121-119. No Luka, no Chet, and no Luka for Dallas. No Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein in that game. But ngayon si Hartenstein, ganda ng laro, double-double machine. Okay.
Galing pa pumasa.
Okay. Dallas is on a 6-game winning streak, winning 10 out of the last 11 games. So medyo nung nawala si Luka, parang nagkaroon sila. Tapos pag ngayon, the last 3 games, naglaro na si Luka. Oklahoma is on a 2-game winning streak, winning 6 out of the last 7 games. OKC at home is 9-2, Dallas away is 7-5. So for me, I would ride the hot winning streak, and that's my team, Dallas Mavericks. I see them winning this game.
Okay, so first pairing, Dallas Mavericks ang pick. Next pairing, ito team mo to, home team.
Ako OKC. Next pairing na ba? Or
next pairing tayo.
Next pairing.
Houston,
I think, pare.
OKC ka?
First team. OKC ako.
Dallas ako.
Okay.
Ayan ha.
Bro, first time yata sa SPNation, hindi ko pipiliin ang aking home team.
Wow.
I like Houston in the way they're playing. I think Golden State they're going through a slump right now. Mas priority nila for me is to get in the rhythm of things again. Although they won against Houston this morning, I think it was still a not convincing win. It's a much needed win for them to break that 4-5 game losing streak. However, piliin ko pa rin yung Houston. Mas mas kagat sila ngayon. They're very, very hungry to prove them. And an NBA Cup scenario for them is more important than for Golden State. So I pick Houston.
Yep, Houston needs this duelo, and of course, Steven Adams is there. Di ba tayo, next pairing, ito, Milwaukee, Orlando.
Pero going to the Houston Golden State.
Golden State.
Talaga.
Bakit?
15 consecutive wins ang Golden State sa Houston.
Sa
It's a
Houston,
different team,
Including today's game.
This morning,
Oo.
yeah.
Tapos this season, 2-0 sila. Kanina hindi pa naglaro si Steph saka si
Oo
Draymond.
nga.
Okay,
Wiggins nagbuhat.
And take note, this will happen next week pa.
Yes.
So, may time to recover si Steph and si Draymond for that game. Yung Houston, naglaro na lahat ng alas nila kanina. So, parang sa akin, Golden State has their number.
So,
Right.
15 yung player na to. Okay, hindi pa
Tapos-
tayo. Sige.
Ay, hindi. Okay na yun.
Okay ka na? Team,
Sa Milwaukee, Orlando.
Milwaukee, Orlando.
Yan, Milwaukee.
Oh, medyo mainit yung Milwaukee tsaka Orlando. Like, the past 11 games nila, for both teams, they're 9-2. But I would pick, kahit home court ng Milwaukee, I'd pick the Orlando Magic.
My guy.
Bakit? Orlando ka rin ba?
That's my
Oh,
squad.
that's his team, that's his team, that's his team this year.
Because,
season.
number one, I'm skeptical of Doc Rivers as the head coach.
Everybody is.
We all know what happens. And we all know what happens to his teams in pressure-packed games. And this is like, di ba, parang win or go home to eh. Like,
Single elimination.
So, ganun, yung reputation ni Doc Rivers, hindi siya sa playoffs eh. Like his record 16 playoff series won against 34 playoff series lost, where his team already has 3 wins.
Ang sama nun.
Tapos he has blown 3 na 3-1 leads. Parang he's the number 1 coach in that category. So parang for me, and I'm not sold because against above 500 teams, yung Milwaukee, they're 1-7. They've only won against Houston.
Right.
Although Magic is 2-6 also. So, pero for me, how I look at this matchup is, maganda nilalaro talaga ng Orlando. And defensive rating-wise, across the league, they're number 3. So ako, I'm banking on defense for Orlando.
Kahit walang bankero.
Oh, I mean, nandun
Maganda
si
na
Franz
Wagner,
Yes.
tsaka ni
Wagner, si
Wagner,
Jalen
no?
Suggs.
Oh, Jalen Suggs.
Grabe yung Wagner.
Grabe yung
Pinalo ko
Wagner.
yung Lakers.
Grabe yung
saka-
Wagner.
Nalilito na nga ako sa kanilang dalawa dahil parehas maganda yung nilalaro ng Wagner boys.
Yes.
Wagner. Ng Orlando. Milwaukee, Orlando. Who's your pick?
Orlando also. Again, for me, NBA Cup is for teams, kung sino magsasucceed dito, yung teams na talagang who are out to prove themselves in the middle. Sa mga ibang teams na hindi pa to kailangan, for me, may load management, may chemistry situation, may sa playoffs tayo mag-peak scenario. But a team like Orlando is very, very hungry and prime for an NBA Cup situation.
Yup, that's my squad. So ako, syempre, Orlando Magic tayo dyan. Okay, New York Knicks, Atlanta Hawks matchup. Ikaw naman ang unahin ko.
Ako, Atlanta, ganda na nilalaro nila ngayon. Atlanta
After
ako.
switching sneakers, si Trae Young. Tingin mo ba?
Yes.
Kasi di ba doon sila
Added
nag-run?
na yun.
Doon sila nag-run. Nung nag-switch na ng brand ng sneakers.
Jordan brand?
Kaya may kasamang
Is it
now
in the
prove
shoes?
yourself,
Might
di
be,
ba?
might be.
May kasamang, and again, he was a sneaker free agent for a while, and then very surprising yung
Ganun ba yun?
yung pag-ano niya.
Is
Hindi,
it in the shoes?
Hindi, for me, I think mas ano lang siya ngayon, he's playing good, he's playing well. Atlanta is also shooting arguably well. New York is still fine. Again, for me, an NBA Cup is for teams who are out to prove themselves in the middle of the season. For them. Parang gusto nila patunayan sa sarili nila, kaya nila makipag-compete. And so, I pick Atlanta for this one.
Ako, laking advantage dito ng New York is their home court advantage.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're 8-2 at home. Atlanta is 6-6 on the road. Above 500 when these two teams play against above 500 teams, the Knicks is 4-5 and then Atlanta is 5-4. So pretty much like similar records. But I do believe New York will win this game because naniniwala pa rin ako they're probably up there as with Cleveland as the second best team in the East.
Alright.
Outside of Boston.
Yes, that's
Outside of the Boston Celtics.
Right.
Of course, all the Eastern Conference games will be played on Wednesday, December 11, 7 a.m.
Predict na rin ba natin yung semis or yung champion?
Hindi na, next week na yun para meron kayo pagkukwentuhan pa kung paano nila lalaro ito. This will be played on Wednesday, December 11, 7 a.m. For both games, they would be played
Sa
simultaneously.
Orlando lang tayo parehas,
Oo
bro.
nga eh. Lahat kayo magkatalaw. And for the Western Conference, it will be played on December 12, Philippine time at 9:30 a.m. So mark those dates. NBA Cup, okay, gaano ka-importante to para dun sa mga teams na to maglalaro dyan? Kasi nakita natin last year, LA won, but they were not able to secure the big chip. So how is this NBA Cup affecting the build-up of this team?
Again, I'll reiterate that for me, it's really for the mid-tier teams who are out to prove themselves not to anyone but it's more for them na parang kailangan natin seryosohin to kasi kailangan natin mapatunayan sa sarili natin kaya makipag-compete late in the playoffs, which is the most important thing. And as you can see, for me, the top 2 teams in the league right now aren't here. The Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers. OKC for me is the 3rd best team right now. They're here. But for me, it's really important for the teams who are trying to prove themselves, not so for the teams who are, na parang okay, talagang will be their championship contending teams.
Well, marami naman dun sa bracket na yun. Like Dallas played in the finals, di ba? So parang sa akin, when we look at the NBA Emirates Cup in-season tournament, for me, this is, of course, a lot of teams want to start strong. Kumbaga, we're 20 games in, that's already 25% of the season. Siyempre, you don't want na at the latter part of the season maghahabol ka. Kasi because these games count, alam ko yung finals lang hindi magka-count sa standings eh. But yung win-loss record mo, important tong mga games na to for me. Because kailangan ng mga teams to build their rankings down the road when, pag latter part of the season. So, that's for me.
Okay, so that's that. Ahoy, ang sasabihin ko lang, dapat ng NBA Cup, all these teams will be playing for the top picks. If they win, they get rewarded with the number 1 pick.
And they play for their third stringers. Kasi pag manalo ka dyan, 'di ba may cash prize yan?
Oh, 500,000. 500K per player.
I mean for the star players,
right.
It doesn't
Igagamble din nila sa Las Vegas yun.
Yes.
Igagamble din nila yan. Okay, so that's that. Ako yung pa rin, play for lottery position. If you win the NBA Cup, you should be getting the number 1 pick para lahat ngumat-ngat. Okay, so 6-7, back-to-back MVP, 23-year-old PBA D-League champion, UAAP champion, D-League MVP. Kevin Kiambao has a lot of murmurs surrounding him throughout the offseason. Nakikita natin siya dominating the collegiate scene right now in the UAP with the De La Salle Green Archers opening this weekend the final series against the UP Fighting Maroons. But the biggest question is this the last dance of Kevin Kiambao? Okay, so the Sono Sky Gunners in the KBL offered, amongst other things, babasahin ko yung numbers kasi ito yung favorite ko pagka maraming zeros akong nababasa. Okay. $275,000 in year 1 and $375,000 in year 2 with the 3rd year player option. Kung gusto niya bumalik, magsiscale ulit to, pwede maging 450 o pwede maging 500,000 US dollars. US dollars po ang usapan natin dito. So, this package has been a most guaranteed deal in KBL. Gano'ng kalaki po ang pera na pinag-uusapan natin. So maraming murmurs na nagsasabi that Kevin Kiambao is on his way out and this might be his last dance with the De La Salle Green Archers. Yan po yung mga figures yun. Gentlemen, ayan ang mga achievements si KQ. KQ is not 6'7", he is bigger than 6'7". Definitely, and he's playing out of position at power forward and he has been back-to-back MVPs in that out of position playing style. Okay, for you gentlemen, will this be KQ's last dance?
Ako, hanggat hindi pa siya sumasakay ng eroplano, hindi ako naniniwala. Kasi pwede rin siya sumakay ng eroplano pero bakasyon lang din.
Right.
Kasi these are like rumors na nag-book na siya ng ticket, tapos with this contract, to convert the dollar numbers that were given by Coach Hammer. Yung 275, that's approximately 16 million.
Yeah.
The 375, that's approximately 22 million. That's why sa social media, it's 37 million yung sinasabi nila. Plus, pag inad mo pa yung 500 na yun, abot ng 60 million yan. Diba? So, to me, hanggat hindi siya official, ako, I still don't believe. Kasi Kevin Kiambao is still on his 3rd playing year right now. And alam naman natin pag sa UAP, you have maximum 5 playing years.
Yep.
So he still has 2 years left. And para sa akin, para saan pa lumipat yung kaibigan niyang si Kian Baklaan sa Lasal, iiwan lang din ni KQ, di ba? So parang for me, hindi ako convinced hanggat hindi siya official na lumipad talaga siya at in-announce na maglalaro na siya sa Korea.
For me, there were already rumors last year, di ba? Parang big rumors, and I think there was a time na talagang pinag-isipan niya and then he chose to stay So it's not a rumor na parang hindi masyado mangyayari. Hindi, parang he was undecided last year and then he chose Lasal and chose to stay. Again, like what Dino said, like until there's something, but we won't know for sure. However, I think he will leave.
You think?
I think he will leave.
Hindi ka pa convinced.
Sa akin, you can leave naman after the 2 years eh.
Yeah.
I mean, maximize the 5 and then you leave, right?
Right. Just to, di ba narinig niyo yung sinabi ni Dino na numbers yung 16 million, 22 million.
So,
Sasabihin ko na to, hindi mo makukuha yun sa UAAP or sa pro level
Yan ang
dito
akala mo!
sa Philippines. Kinompute ko. I don't know what the rumors are, pero dun sa unang year niya palang Dino na 16.
16. Okay.
Dinivide ko, that's almost 2 million a month.
1.3.
Hindi, kung divide mo ng 12, that's 1 point something.
Yeah, 1 point something a month, okay?
Manipis.
In your rookie year.
Sa UAP, hindi mo makuha yun.
Ay, hindi. Well, we'll see. Pero iba yung deal na in-offer sa kanya sa Japan. Iba yung deal na in-offer sa Japan.
Pero, I mean, hindi lang naman scholarship pinakukuha ng mga...
I can neither confirm
signing
or
bonus
deny.
pa nga lang,
Oy.
signing bonus.
I can either confirm or deny.
Pero, para sa akin, imposibleng scholarship lang yung nakukuha nila.
Hindi, oo naman.
Imposible.
But
Alam nyo. Tapusin mo muna yung point mo.
I think that's... It's still pretty fresh yung rumor, di ba? So hindi pa natin narinig yung side ng Lasal, di ba?
Yeah.
But hindi din malayo na offeran din pang-counter.
Oh.
Di ba? Pang-counter.
1.3?
1.3 a month. A month.
Enrique Razon ba man ang ano mo?
Alam mo-
Soler, Enrique Razon ang nagpopondo sa Lasal.
Right.
Yung the boosters in itself.
Yeah.
1.3 offer sa'yo. On the flip side, okay, KQ, nakikita mo ba yung Lim Engbeng? At saka nakikita mo ba yung Renren Retualo? Makakuha ka ng isa pang championship sa isang MVP. Kasama mo yung kapabata mo, kasama mo yung Jacob Cortez, kasama mo yung
Mason
Luis
Amos.
Pablo, kasama mo yung Mason Amos. 3 sunod na championship, 3 MVP.
Baka 4 pa nga.
Baka 4. Tapos, sige, parang hindi siya mamalo ko, bigyan ka namin 1.5 a month. Saan ako pipirma?
Computin natin yung...
Di ba? Tapos, ito pa
yung 500,000 magkano yun? Yung third year
Saka
offer.
hindi, yung third year. Kasi dalawa na lang yung
Saka,
lalaki.
Ay,
So,
pwede
hindi,
siya pumunta.
Ito tingin ko, lumalabas yung rumors na yan para tumaas yung value niya.
Ay,
Para may counter offer.
I can neither confirm or deny.
Ginagawa yun ng mga ng mga players, ng mga coaches,
Ay,
di ba?
ay.
Pero-
Pinapataas yung value nila kasi
Right.
may nag-offer
I
sa
think
akin.
KQ is with Virtual Playground and the VP people wouldn't as far as I know them, they wouldn't drive things like that. Boss Cha, magandang gabi sa'yo. And they would always give advice kay KQ, pero definitely the family will be deciding. Kasi
Right.
malaking bagay yung he has a newborn. Okay, that's one.
Yun din eh.
Yun, malaking
Yes.
bagay yun. And to quote Justin Baltasar, hindi ko naman kailangan magmadali. Nandiyan lang naman yan. Ano ba yung enough? Enough
Right.
for me. Ano yung enough sa akin para maset ko yung pamilya ko and yung mga susunod na generation. Kasi generational wealth na yung pinag-uusapan
Right.
natin dyan. Marami ng zero yan eh. So...
Let me ask you guys a question.
To me, this-
a question in regards to this. So we're talking about generation wealth, income, provision for your family. In terms of experience and exposure, will it be better for him to play overseas? And I think nakasulat dito may rumor na guaranteed playing time, unlike yung mga ibang nalalaman natin na nababako naman sa overseas, compared to staying in LaSalle and playing 1-2 more years against these collegiate players, which will be better for him to grow, I guess. As money aside, as a player. I wonder what you guys would think about that. Better ba sa kanya Korea?
Well, hindi lang naman... Well, ang lumabas kasi na numbers is na malaki is yung sa Korea. Pero
Hindi lang
alam
Korea.
ko may mga offers din siya from Japan and everything. Yung guaranteed lang sa Korea. For me, hindi yung... Kumbaga, in terms of growth as a player, hindi Korea yung titignan.
Best
Pwedeng Japan
scenario.
and then outside Asia.
Pre, 23, no? 23 years.
23 pare.
Okay.
Batang bata pa.
Ang mahirap kasi dyan, yung ligang labas eh. Kasi ang laki ng bigayan sa ligang labas. Pagka binigyan ka ng equal, kasi kung ako kukunin ko talaga to eh. Kaso hindi ako ganun magaling.
So hindi totoo na sabi ni Kevin Cabao, hindi malaki yung bigay sa...
Posible yun. Kev,
Pare.
tayo magagawa.
I can neither confirm or deny.
Sinabi niya kasi sa interview niya na dinay niya na malaki yung binibigay.
Oo, tsaka akin, makapal pa yung buhok ko. Nakaksaya ka ba ng panahon maglaro? Papawis?
Utang na loob eh.
Ikaw na yung...
Utang na loob.
Pre, ito na lang yung titignan natin. Ikaw yung number 1 prospect sa Pilipinas ngayon. Bar none. Ikaw lang yung 6'7", na ganyan maglaro. Generational prospect ka. Utang na loob.
Gilas ka pa.
Gilas ka pa. Imposible naman yun. Pre, pinanganak ako kahapon pero hindi kagabi, pre. Okay, so ganun ako kung ako kay KQ,
Sa akin, maximize ko yung lasal.
maximize ko yung lasal kasi...
Kaya naman i-counter over yun.
At saka 25 ka lang. Pero again, yung kasi yung iba eh. Pagka naglaro ka na ng pro and if the playing time's there and you really put yourself out there and ganyan pa rin yung performance mo, the next offers will be bigger because it's tougher competition.
Right.
Tougher competition, you would be shown on a bigger stage, and if you're playing against sorry to say, Filipino competition that are younger than you, that you have been killing the past 2 years. I mean, what's the...
Though yung team na pupuntahan niya na nabanggit yung Sono, hindi medyo losing record sila eh.
Okay, baka pagdating niya, yun ang maganda.
Yeah.
Para siyang lottery pick. Pagdating niya,
pero baka hindi sila, kung ma-turn around niya, pero kung hindi niya ma-turn around.
Di mo pagka pro league, di mo kailangan mag-turn around. Ang kailangan mo, shoot, rumebound, pumasa, ngumiti, kumaway, para sa fans.
Magpagaling.
Mag-branding, kasi pag magaling ka, kahit magtago ka pa sa pinakadulong kuweba ng Zambales, mahahanap at mahahanap ka ng mga ahente, mahahanap at mahahanap ka ng magbibigay sa'yo ng kontrata para maglaro. KQ, bahala ka na dyan. Kasi bahala ka na dyan. Bahala ka na dyan.
Rare din talaga yung hindi tatapusin yung UAAP eligibility. I think the last one was Carl Tamayo.
Brad.
Kasi generational si
Kasi hindi natapatan.
Brad, alam mo, simple lang yan. Kung ang collegiate pwede magpa-draft ng early.
Maximize mo talaga yung...
Hindi, kung pwede magpa-draft ng early, ang daming nagpa-draft dyan. Ang daming nagpa-draft dyan. I can name a handful after Jacobs last year. Magpapadraft yun kung parang NBA na pwede ka magpa-draft anytime. Sorry, binababara namin tong kwentong to kasi ito yung pinakamainit sa lahat ng pagkukwentuhan natin.
Yes, breaking news.
Maraming salamat pala kay Kuya Homer Saison ng Spin kasi he was the first one who posted this.
Yes.
Kasi lahat tayo may pakialam. Kasi pag naglaro si KQ sa KBL, kawawa naman yung mga nagsishare ng highlights niya sa Facebook. Hindi na marire-share. Paano nila mamomonetize yun yung mga nagko-comment? Kaya kailangan ka namin dito, KQ. Maniwala ka. Pero pagka, if the offer is too hard to pass on. I mean, you have to set, you have to set yourself up for the future, number one. And number two, it's a front-loaded contract being an athlete. You can be, lahat expendable. You're always one injury away. And we've seen it time and time again that athletes, despite, nasa strength and conditioning ako, despite the advances in the medical field when it comes to sports performance, it's really something else when you get, it happens. Injuries happen, and ako lagi kong sinasabi, if the...
Cash in.
Oo, ako, kapitalista kasi ako eh. Cash in, bro. Cash in. It's the Donald Trump core.
Right.
Alright, so moving forward to our next topic, KQ, balitaan mo na lang kami and hopefully you play well.
So okay lang sa inyo, if match yung offer dito sa Pilipinas, okay lang sa inyo maglaro pa rin siya sa Korea?
Hindi.
Dito ka na eh. Pagka, bibigyan ka 1.3, nasa Lasal ka, pwede ka
Kasi
labas.
meron kang gilas, bro eh. So kumbaga hindi ka lang maglalaro sa college, maglalaro ka din sa gilas.
Okay,
kumbaga, doon mo makukuha yung experience yung...
Lasal.
Oo naman.
Oo,
Hindi mo kailangan mag-isip niya kasi.
Pero mas malakas yung mas
like I said, kasi may gilas ka din eh. So nakakatikim ka ng competition.
Hindi naman siya mawawala dun sa gilas program eh, kahit
hindi talaga.
Pero pagka same ang offer, ang tipping point niyan is yung anak. Yung anak niya. Kasi gusto niya dito, okay na dito yung pamilya niya, nasa Muntinlupa.
Pero parang nasulat doon, parang pinapagawa na ng passport.
Kung kasama,
yung anak?
Kung kasama lahat, by all means. KQ, we wish you all the best and we wish you a very healthy career.
Right.
And do what's best for you. Kami,
Baka
we're just talking heads here, but
Baka may ticket pero hindi sumakay, di ba?
meron akong ticket sa bus. Yan, dahil sobrang traffic sa labas, yung mga nagpapaparty. Okay, so di pa tayo sa ating next topic. Ito maganda to. Sabi ni Coach Yeng Giao, parang hindi ganun kadiin yung Hong Kong Eastern. Parang hindi singdin yung Bay Area Dragons. Of course, fine print. Merong mga Division 1 players at important Hong Kong Eastern.
Yeah.
Yung Bay Area, lahat Division 1 players. Tapos may tatlo pang import na naglaro ng high level.
Yeah.
So gentlemen, sabi ni Coach Yeng Giao, we all know that the bench of Bay Area is much deeper. Sabi ni Coach Yeng Giao, we all know that this team is not as deep. So, with their performance here and Commissioner's Cup, anong assessment ninyo dito sa sinabi ni Coach Yeng?
Well, sa akin, to me, the team that they got tested with was Rain or Shine, which they lost. Hindi pa nila nakakalaban yung, for me, the big four right now in Philippine basketball or the PBA.
Top tier, yung pinag-usapan natin.
Oh, yung top tier ko. Nawala ang NLEX at Magnolia, which is Tokentex, Meralco, Ginebra, and San Miguel. Ang Tokentex sa Ginebra, hindi pa nga naglalaro eh.
Yes.
So for me, pero tinitingnan ko mas malakas talaga yung Bay Area. Coach pa lang eh, Brian Gorjan. Who's a 6-time NBL champion, 6-time NBL Coach of the Year, and who was the coach of the Australian men's national team during the Olympics. And siya yung coach na nung 2020 plus 1 Olympics yung Tokyo. And it was the first time na nanalo ng medal ang Australia sa men's basketball sa Olympics. So for me, yung coach pa lang, mabigat na talaga. I mean, no offense to the coach of Hong Kong Eastern, pero iba yung pedigree ng Brian Gorjan. And the imports niya, yung advantage ng Bay Area, may Andrew Nicholson ka, Miles Powell, na iniikot mo during the season, di ba? Based on the matchup that they have during the time that they played in the PBA Commissioner's Cup. So parang sa akin, dun pa lang, and these two players have played in the NBA. No offense to Cameron Clark, pero iba yung Andrew Nicholson and Miles Powell.
All-American in college. Andrew Nicholson and had multiple
So to me,
multiple tours with Team Canada.
Right.
To me, I mean, they could have won that championship, pero Ginebra yung nakalaban nila, so with Justin Brownlee. So, pero sa akin, ang layo ng Bay Area sa Hong Kong Eastern.
Right. I agree with you. Only because of one person, Miles Powell. I think at that time, a couple of years ago, diba? They had a clutch player. They had a solid player who needs a bucket. They needed a bucket. Malakas na yung team nila, very deep Pero siya yung, for me, yung malaking factor na talagang parang go-to guy nila. And I don't see that in Cameron Clark this year with Hong Kong Eastern. And so, talagang Ginebra lang talaga like what you said, Ginebra lang talaga natapat sila nung finals noon. Honestly, baka nga hindi pa mag-finals ngayon si Hong Kong Eastern eh. Hindi sure. Diba? Yung Bay Area talaga against teams like yung mga bottom tier teams na they were dominating against them eh. And so, I think mas malakas talaga yung Bay Area compared to Hong Kong Eastern. But we'll see.
Saka nakalaban nila lahat ng independent teams eh. Tatlong independent eh. And at the same time, kung naalala nyo, yung Bay Area Dragons, grabe talaga yung budget nitong team na to. I think compared sa Hong Kong Eastern,
Grabe rin budget nito Hong Kong Eastern.
Talaga?
Grabe budget niyan, pre.
Sa BGC pa rin sila.
Siyang BGC nagstay yung Bay Area for ilang months yun. Grabe yun.
Pero pre, itong Hong Kong Eastern background.
Tapos, they hired Cholo Villanueva to be like a consultant or coach
To know about the
tendencies ng mga players sa Philippines. Kasi naglaro rin si Cholo sa PBA, tapos at the same time, he's a coach for the Tanduay Ram Masters in the MPBL. So I think, yung player talent pool-wise, and then yung mga moves na ginawa nila with yung dalawang imports with Andrew Nicholson and si Miles Powell at the same time, getting Cholo Villanueva. Kasi si BJ Manalo ngayon, I think operations lang siya.
Pero ito, Hong Kong Eastern, I covered this squad, different squad pa. Pre-pandemic, when they were competing in the ABL, they were very, very good. Darian Bassett, Sam Deguara was in their squad. Malakas tong team na to. But again, the pandemic happened. I think Adam Su is the lone guy na natitira sa kanilang squad. So I think he's the son of the owner.
Talaga?
And play Division 1 too.
Kaya pala he's the only guy.
He's the only guy remaining there. I'm not privy to the info. Pero I think nakwento lang sa akin ng ops namin sa ABL, mga kaibigan natin. That he was one of the guys here, and that was the last team that I covered for the ABL in Hong Kong before the lockdowns happened and before everything else. And of course, it remains to be seen how Hong Kong Eastern will be performing dito sa ating PBA dahil hindi pa kanila nakakalaban yung top 4 teams.
And hindi mo makikita yung Bay Area matatalo sa Rain or Shine. Although malakas yung Rain or Shine, di ba? Hindi sila matatalo ng 17 points, di ba? Hindi sila matatalo ng 17 points.
Dinurog nga nila ng 126-96 nung quarterfinals yung
Inat-ngat.
Bay Area sa Rain or Shine nung quarters. Twice to beat kasi Bay Area. They were the number 1 seed and then they faced Rain or Shine. 30 points, di ba? So parang ako, medyo it spells trouble if you lose 17 points to
diba?
Rain or
Malaking
Shine.
bagay yun. Yeah.
Buti ka pa, parang Taylor Swift. You know trouble when it got there. Right? Okay.
Safety ka pa na, bro!
Siyempre.
Safety ka pa na!
Tayong babae.
Safety ka pa na, bro! Safety ka pa na, bro!
Meron akong 12-year-old na anak na babae. Kaya wala, no choice si dad. Pero ngayon, nagbabago na yung mga preferences. Okay. Shoutout pala sa almost 2,000 na nanonood sa atin live on Facebook. Mag-comment kayo, magpadala kayo ng maraming comments sa amin kasi sobrang traffic sa labas. May mga party na nangyayari around the studio.
Tingin ko yung mga nanonood sa atin nasa daan.
So mag-comment kayo na mag-comment, lalo na dyan sa Hong Kong Eastern tsaka tungkol kay KQ para mabasa namin kasi we have so much time dahil traffic sa labas, ganun din, tatambay din kami magkakasama, so might as well join our conversation. Okay, gentlemen, eto na tayo sa paborito natin na SPNation Expert Picks. Okay, hindi ko alam kung...
Sana makabawi na tayo ngayon.
Sa ating producer extraordinaire, pakihanap nga yung stats namin sa lahat ng sa lahat ng mga picks. Dapat may mga prop
May
bets.
bilang tayo.
May mga sandwich bets din tayo na kailangan natin bayaran dito sa staff natin na magigiting dahil sa mga binibigay nating mga expert picks. Okay, so we have a handful of games happening tomorrow. We pick 3 of the teams that are closest to our hearts. Unahin na natin ang mainit na Atlanta Hawks. Maglalaro sila sa kanilang home court against the Los Angeles Lakers. So that's the first matchup that we have. Previous game na LA, they were beaten black and blue by 41 points by the Miami Heat. Ang Atlanta naman won against the Milwaukee Bucks by 15, 119, and 104. I'll go first with Dino.
Yeah, ako, I picked the Atlanta Hawks over... If I'm emotional with this pick, I would go with the Lakers. Kasi...
Laker fan ka.
I mean, outside of Dallas, I'm rooting for the Lakers this season. So, but if I will base it on logic, I would go with the Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta is outside of Dallas, which is on a 6-game winning streak. The hottest, outside of Dallas, the hottest team in the NBA right now is Atlanta on a 5-game winning streak with 2 victories against the number 1 team in the NBA, which is the Cleveland Cavaliers, which I think no one saw it coming. Diba? No one saw it coming. Diba? Diba? Parang obvious naman. Parang dapat home court ng Cleveland, tapos tinalo sila. Tapos the Lakers, after going 10-4, are now 2-6 in their last 8 games. Their only victories are with Utah and San Antonio, which are, not above 500 teams.
Trying to get Cooper Flag? Or...
Hindi.
They're
win now with LeBron and Anthony Davis.
Mr.
And
Harper.
Bronny pa pala. Huwag natin kalimutan si Bronny, ha?
And the Lakers struggle against above 500 teams. And Atlanta is an above 500 team. So, tapos ngayon, Davis has a left plantar fasciitis, pero listed as probable with this game. LeBron James is questionable with a left foot soreness, and Austin Reeves is out with a left pelvic contusion. Trae Young, probable with the right Achilles tendonitis. So, I would go Atlanta.
Atlanta ka rito.
Home court pa.
Side question,
Go,
bago
go,
may
go,
pasa
go.
sa'yo.
Go.
Sinong mas injury prone? Si Zion o si Anthony Davis?
Zion.
Anthony Davis din. Over the past few years, this year he's a bit
Zion.
okay, pero
Sliding-
let's put it
sliding
let's put it this way. Si Anthony Davis puro nagging injuries
Oo.
overall. Si Zion parang mga season ending mga ganun eh.
Hindi kasi si Zion kasi ang injury niya magana siya kumain. Okay, balik tayo dito sa...
Zion, si Anthony Davis tumataba, si Zion tumataba.
Okay. El, with LA
Nako,
Lakers and the
sana
Atlanta
hindi
Hawks, what are
ulit.
you picking?
sana hindi ulit kami ma-0-3 ni Dino ngayon. Pero Atlanta din ang pipiliin ko only because...
Pag Lakers ka na lang, para at least
Para
kumagawali.
half top. But I think Lakers kasi they're not so good. They're around in the 20s in the league in terms of giving up three-pointers. And when Atlanta gets hot, as Coach Hammer said, it's because of the shoe deal. Diba? It's because of the shoe deal. They're playing a different ball game right now.
It's not in the shoes, man.
It's not in the shoes. Where was that before the shoe deal? Where was that before the shoe deal? But again, with the guys like Trae Young and Bogdanovic, if they get hot, and mahirapan ng Lakers dito. So,
You think Bogdanovic will be traded?
he's a tradable asset. Depende
Kasi
sa Atlanta eh.
Depende by the time comes na ano.
Right.
Kasi in Atlanta is making a run.
Yes.
By the time comes na All-Star break, makikita mo naman yung standing
Yung mga
if you have a chance.
Uwi nung isang
Oo, eh. But again, they have a lot of usable assets ang Atlanta. A lot of teams can need some of their services. Yung mga players nila.
Jalen Johnson, ganda rin.
Right. So,
Jalen Johnson.
yeah. So,
Actually, hindi na maganda yung shooting percentage ni Trae. But he's the leading assist man in the NBA with 12 assists per game. So, pick and roll, lakas ng pick and roll nito si Trae.
The threat kasi sa labas. Okay,
Yes, Atlanta.
So with that, Atlanta. Hopefully, this pans out and Lakers looking to bounce back of that big-time loss. Okay, di pa tayo sa next game natin. Milwaukee will be visiting the Boston Celtics. Boston winning against Detroit by 10 points. 130-120. Grabe yung over-under. Siguro mga 245 din. And Milwaukee losing against Atlanta, the aforementioned game. 11-10 in Milwaukee this season. The Boston Celtics are cruising along with an 18-4 record. Gentlemen, unahin kita dito.
I pick the logical choice would be the Boston Celtics. For me, they're the number one team, even though Cleveland has a better record. I think Milwaukee is around 20-50 yata sila sa league in assists. So alam mong 1-1 team sila. In terms of, di ba, si na Middleton hindi pa healthy. That's a great matchup for a team like Boston Celtics who like to defend as a team and who love to play against one-on-one players kasi multiple defenders sila maglaro. And I think they will come out on top in this game. And for me, I pick the Boston Celtics.
Dino.
Since you mentioned Chris Middleton, he's expected to make his season debut in this game. Drew Holiday, after missing the last 2 games from a left knee tendinopathy, will return to action. And take note yung injuries ng probable din si Giannis tomorrow with his right patella tendinopathy. Questionable si Al Horford, Kristaps Porzingis, who played in their last game against Detroit, where in day 1, and then Jason Tatum, who missed his first game of the season, last game against Detroit. He's also questionable with the right patella. But to me, with the home court advantage and the way that Boston is as a team, with kahit di maglaro for me, kahit isa lang maglaro dyan, sure win to eh.
Yeah.
Kasi you have Jaylen Brown, you have Drew Holiday, you have Derek White, and then you have sino yung bench nila?
Luke Cornell.
Peyton Pritchard.
Favorite ko dun.
Diba? This is actually their 3rd meeting of the season. With their first 2 meetings, Boston winning 119-108 in the first meeting and then 113-107 in the second meeting. Boston is 9-2 at home. Milwaukee on the road is 3-6. And nabanggit ko nga kanina yung record ng Milwaukee against above 500 teams is 1-7. Diba? The Boston Celtics is above 500 teams is 7-3. So, 4 losses ng Boston, the average margin is 3.5.
Best team in the league for me.
They never get, parang hindi sila matatambakan. Like, yung mga talo nila is single digit. So, to me, all directions are pointing towards the Boston Celtics.
Pre, naka-relax lang eh. Cruise control.
Pero last week, pinik namin ni Dino, Cavs for a sure win. Natalo pa yung Cavs, so hindi natin
Iba yung Boston. Wala akong tiwala. Pag playoffs, wala akong tiwala sa Cavs.
Wala pa.
Pero Boston, iba yan.
Grabe yung sistema nito.
That's a different animal.
Grabe yung sistema.
They jack up the most 3-pointers.
Yeah. Ilan sila?
50 plus.
Yes.
50 plus 3.
Yes.
Ilan ang attempts nila ngayon? Parang nakita ko ng isang beses, parang 47 yan.
Parang
close to 50.
Nasa 50. 51 na nakita ko kanina eh. 51 attempts per game sa 3 points.
Galit na galit ang mga 90s players dyan.
Actually kasi, I came to grips with it with what we're doing this season. Watching all the games. Kasi ito na yung mid-range jumper nila.
Right.
This is the Medina talaga for them. And players are a little bit taller, stronger. And the range has been there. So it's like a medium range for the older
I
generation.
think more than half of the teams in the NBA right now are their attempts in a game. Kung total ng 2 points saka 3 points, yung 3-point attempts nila is 50% of their shot attempts na ngayon.
Sa NCAA din, ganyan eh. More than 60 pa nga yung ibang teams. Kaso mo, papalala ko lang, hindi lahat ng tumitira sa 3-point.
Exactly, bro. Kaya maraming nagagalit na old heads because yes, we get it. It's the route, it's the generation, but not all teams deserve to shoot a lot of threes.
Boston
diba? Of course. Kaya sila nag-champion
nila, yung big man nila, si Al Horford, saka si Porzingis, tumitira din ng tres eh.
At sasabihin ko na lang yung laging payo sa akin ni Coach JV Gayoso when we're still together with MPBN. Pre, pag feel mo, pukol mo. Okay, punta tayo ngayon sa ating mga comments, sa ating mga... meron pa pala tayo isang game. Sorry. May isa pa tayong game, munti ka na makalimutan ng paborito mong team. The Minnesota Timberwolves will be visiting. Okay, so parehas kay Boston Minnesota will be visiting the Golden State Warriors tomorrow at 11 a.m. Minnesota having an 11-10 record, winning their previous game by 28 points against the LA Clippers. The Golden State Warriors 13-8 won by 6 points against Houston.
Yeah, when pag start of the season, talagang easy pick for me, it's the Golden State Warriors. But prior to their win against Houston today, they just snapped a 5-game losing streak. And then Steph didn't play because may iniinda siya sa knee. Draymond didn't play because mayroon siyang left calf tightness. Although, ang sabi ni Steve Kerr, maglalaro si Steph this game, si Draymond possible. Now, Minnesota, wala silang injuries ngayon. But to me, with Golden State, a bit struggling right now. After having a 12-3 start, ngayon 5-game losing streak, tapos nanalo lang sila sa Houston. Sa akin, I will go with Minnesota in this one. Kasi on a roll yung Minnesota, 3-game winning streak, tapos nanalo ka sa Clippers on, kumbaga, convincing win, 28 points. For me, this is although home court ng Golden State Warriors, for me, Timberwolves will get this game.
Nako, baka ma-0-3 na naman tayo dyan, Dino.
Parehas
na naman tayo ng pick. I feel like a traitor, but I have to do my job in Sports Plus at some point. And I cannot pick my favorite team, my home team, because again, as much as I was unexpectedly excited at the start of the season of how well they're doing, I cannot help but remember that I was feeling some sort of, okay, when are we gonna go back to reality of how good really Golden State is this year? And so this is it. This is their sort of like going down the mountain. They're struggling right now.
But doesn't mean they're not gonna go back
up.
Of
course. Again, the way they went up, it was like gravity, diba? Everything is gonna come down again. And so I think this is their low moment early in the season. And again, I think even si Wiggins is questionable for the game. And so good rotation pieces will be able to get their minutes, but Jonathan Kuminga is not going to be able to carry them against a heavy team like Minnesota. And so I pick Minnesota Timberwolves.
Okay.
Minnesota is also a top defensive team.
Yes.
Top defensive team in the league. And at the same time, Golden State is coming from a back-to-back na from start to finish, bakbakan sila ni Houston ganina.
Yes.
So, medyo may pagod yan. And Minnesota is fresh. Wala silang laro today.
So, picks natin. Picks ninyo.
Ay,
Atlanta,
tayo dito.
Boston, Golden State.
Ano tingin mo?
Ako, ang tingin ko, ang palagay,
0-3 ulit kami.
ang palagay, di ako mapalagay. Kasi ang NBA, iba rin kasi ibang laruan tulad yan, back-to-back games.
May silat kasi talaga eh.
At saka,
pag uminit, may silat eh.
Siyempre, sa totoo niyan, yung mga veteranong team, playoffs sila DDN. Tulad yan, palalaroin nila ng palalaroin. If I was a coach, I would be using my full roster to get their feet wet, to get them better, and for them to be able to step in case any hiccups happen along the way going to a championship. And that's what Boston, Golden State for one, resting Steph. Sakto to in the 25th percent of their games 82 games to 20. Pahinga ka muna, Steph. Lagi may mga ganyan eh. You manage the expectations for your players. Okay, so pupunta natin ngayon ang ating comments from our viewers. Okay, ilan daw? For? Kala ko naman marami, ang dami nyo nanonood. Dapat na comment na, mag-comment pa kayo. Pang-marketing lang talaga yung NBA Cup. Siyempre, Las Vegas. Di mo masasabing malakas sa win or go home format. Iba talaga yung playoffs. Kaya di sineseryoso ng Celtics ko. Yan, sa amin ang NBA title sabi ni Power Mac.
Facts. For me, facts.
For me kasi when you look at the groupings kasi, you play your group eh. And yung mga nakapasok na teams, yung New York sa Orlando,
Group.
mahina yung group nila eh. Pag tinignan mo yung group ng New York sa Orlando, pag tinignan mo yung group ng Boston sa Cleveland, nandun yung Atlanta na sinilat yung Cleveland, nandun yung Boston, yung Cleveland, magkakasama. Yung sa New York, Orlando, hindi masyado eh. So parang I guess, in a way, yung basis ng bracketing dito, you don't get to play everyone. But nagkataon, mahina yung team or on a losing streak, makakapasok ka sa quarterfinals eh. So parang sa akin, hindi siya good basis of who really is. Baka kasi on a roll lang yung mga team, kaya sila nakapasok doon sa
Right timing, single elimination.
Right timing.
Parang NCAA March Madness.
Yes.
Ay,
yes.
ikaw.
I agree with Power Mac. No, pang marketing, not so marketing, but more so marketing para sa mid-tier teams. Again, yung mga top-tier teams, it's just as the same as putting wins in their records. That's it. Pero yung sa mga gitna, talagang go hard sila dun eh, kahit papaano eh. And so, not about the money also. I think it's not as big, as enticing as what they could be getting in terms of developing their career personally, getting a better contract. But again, it's more so to prove yung mga mid-tier teams na hindi, kaya natin makipagsabayan sa mga malalakas na teams. So, yun.
Ako, definitely, for me now, this is a business move for Adam Silver and
right.
League. Number one, it puts an additional big sponsor in Emirates. Okay, that's a big deal. Number two, you're showcasing Las Vegas and hopefully the Seattle Supersonics, so you can expand again your borders to 34 teams. Scheduling might be a little bit of 32 rather. NFL pa rin kasi na. Kasi
32 kasi
papasok
NFL.
na kakatapos na kasi ng mga Thanksgiving games eh. Okay. So, 32 teams. So, mas magiging 8 teams per division. Di ba? Mas balanse. 8 teams per... Gagawin nila ulit
baka dadami yung division.
Gagawin nila 4 yung division.
Oo.
Kesa 5,
Parang apat,
gagawin
parang
nila
NFL na
4.
rin.
Yes,
Parang NFL
exactly.
na rin.
So, ganoon. Tapos may mga Pacific Midwest, papaghaluin na nila kasi 'di ba Midwest at Pacific na nga. I don't know with Adam Silver, but definitely 32 teams will be a sight to behold for.
Pero to you, is it a work? Is it working?
Oh yeah, yung NBA Cup.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for business, pero
And that's what they're doing with the WNBA. Right now, kasi they're marketing smaller market teams para continuous may nanonood, and with the arrival of Caitlin Clark, it exploded, and then Paige Beckers, hopefully next year would have the same effect para mag-compound yung popularity, and they expand talaga nila into a global scale, which is what the NBA is. Okay, next comment tayo para sa ating gabi. Maraming salamat Oy, Anthony Perez! Oy, Ant! Kamusta ka, pare? Namiss ko na yung mga kwentuhan natin pag dating sa football. Tama, ito bang Anthony Perez?
Yeah,
si Anthony to, no?
Yeah.
Si Anthony natin.
He covers sports.
NFL, ating kaibigan from V. Ateneo. Hindi man ulit. University. Okay, binigyan ko ng V, pare. Ay, mga ating mo. Gotta give props to Giannis and Dame for getting it done for the Bucks as of late. Yup. Big thumbs up. If ever they do win the Emirates NBA Cup 2024, Milwaukee can make moves along the fringes rather than trading away Giannis and start from scratch all over.
Do you think they're winning the Emirates? Ako hindi eh.
Ako, mas importante sa akin na healthy sila at saka makakuha sila ng rhythm. Makakuha sila ng rhythm magkakasama kasi it's the first time Chris Middleton will be playing.
Sa akin, the run that they made yung 9-2, they were beating like teams that were bottom dwellers.
That they were supposed to be.
Yeah, they were supposed to beat eh. And when faced with above 500 teams, they kinda like struggled. 1-7 eh. So ngayon, you're facing Orlando, Orlando, and then kung sino man manalo sa New York and Atlanta, it's also an above 500 team. And then the ones that you're gonna face from the Western Conference in the championship are also above 500 teams. So I mean, malabo for me na mananalo ng Emirates NBA Cup ang Milwaukee.
Pero single elimination game yan, pare ha? Baka magising si
Doc Rivers yan eh.
Dame time. Baka Dame time.
Sa akin, I'd rather have them focus on winning a championship rather than this one. Kasi ako, hindi talaga ako sold on Doc Rivers. That might be like...
So would you rather have Coach Griffin over Rivers? Ako, I wanted Griffin to finish the season last year. He didn't Griffin for most of the end.
Questionable nga eh, but
Nakasulsulan lang yun, pre. Alam mo naman, kung ano sa
Power
Pilipinas,
player.
ganun sa Amerika,
Power play.
maraming sulsultan. Oh, Ayel, with...
this might be the last season of Doc Rivers.
You think?
In my opinion.
Uy.
Because they're not gonna win a championship with...
Yeah. Honestly, yes, gotta give props to Giannis and Dame because they're willing these wins. Binubuhat nila. As you can see, 25th sila sa assist. So, for them, it's not really about winning the NBA Cup. For me, it's just getting, sinabi ni Dino kanina, just getting enough wins to land a good spot in the playoffs. Hindi pa natin nakikita yung full capacity ng Bucks kasi hindi pa naglalaro si Middleton eh. It's so different from their championship year na talagang ball movement, and deep sila eh. So now, props to Giannis and Dame. They're willing the wins to gain enough wins in the season, but they still have a lot to work on this
May
year.
Boston, may Cleveland, may New York.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Thank you, Anthony. Mag-comment ka. Lagi ko nga antabayan yung mga
Anthony.
comments mo. Alright, next Next comment. Dropping Times Events Manila. Sa tingin nyo, worth it bang tapatan ng Lasal yan? Nawawala na talaga yung amateurism sa college ball. Pera na lang ba talaga laban?
Meron pa rin bang amateurism sa college ball? Lalo na sa basketball and volleyball. Ako, for me, amateurism is dead eh. Kasi, di ba, parang sports.
Maybe high school.
Sports has
Oh,
evolved.
may nire-recruit nga kami sa high school. Tinanong ano yung offer.
To me, sports has evolved from where it was before. Na pwede mong sabihin amateur, pero right now, it's a business. And when you say business, players from high school all the way to college, they get paid. So, to me, amateurism is dead. Now, when it comes to Lasal, ako worth it. Kasi kung makapag-forfeit ka with KQ.
Oh.
Di ba?
Yeah. Tatandaan natin.
The last time na nagkaroon ng stick na ganun was Ateneo with the 5-peat.
Right.
Pero yung 4-peat, susundan mo ng 4-peat yan, syempre worth it yan with the legacy that
Retired numbers.
Tatandaan natin na, okay, sa madaling salita, ang most marketable players or league ngayon is what?
College.
UAP. Okay? So, tatandaan nyo sa States, hindi kailangan may mga one and done. Pa-draft na kagad itong mga players na to. Kasi NBA ang number one eh, di ba? Dito sa Pilipinas, UAAP ang number one eh, di ba? You can argue na NCAA is number two, di ba? However, so, with that being said, ang prime time ngayon is yung mga ages ng college. So, hindi natin to reinforce yung sinabi ni Dino, hindi siya amateurism ng college kasi States nga yung mga age na to, pro na eh. Di ba? So, ganun din yung mga nakukuha nilang
Di mababa.
allowance
Yung
or
sa college kasi
NIL.
may NIL
Yes.
image like
Of course.
But kung yung benefits na nakukuha nila sa NBA, mas mababa mas mataas sa NBA compared sa NIL sa
Of
States.
course.
Pero
of course.
dito,
Exactly. That's
yung college,
why worth it ba tapatan ng Lasal yan? Kumbaga, ang iniisip mo, gumagastos ang Lasal sa most marketable league at a very marketable age. So, there's nothing about amateur. Ibang-iba na ngayon sa Pilipinas, diba? And ako, worth it siya.
Oh, yeah.
Worth it siya.
It's worth it.
Definitely.
Chance of a 4-peat?
Worth
Oo.
it. Definitely.
pumasok yung tatlo
Yes.
next year. Tapos may KQ ka.
Saka
Yeah.
sustainability chain eh. Winning feeds the whole mechanism of the school. If your
Enrollment.
school, exactly. Your school wins, alumni yung tatay ko, saan mag-aaral yan?
Saka recruitment.
Pre,
Mas
ganun.
madali mag-recruit kung
Right.
yung
Exactly, no? Sa amin, sa San Beda nun, when I was still, when I was part
Winning
of that
championships.
first, hindi ko dala yung
Yeah, I was winning championships.
Pero I was part of that benchmark. Anyway, so, the enrollment spiked.
Yeah.
More alumni wanted to get involved kasi with the tradition of Lasal, lagi na silang nananalo.
Right.
More alumni got involved, more funding will be funneling in. Saan nila gagamitin? To sustain it so that they can build more buildings, mas maraming magiging generous
Yes.
na alumni. That's what happened with San Beda. We have a handful of new buildings in campus after winning. So,
Winning cures everything.
positive sustainability chain eh. Ano ba naman yung 1.3 tapos yung darating sa eskwela mga nasa 45M na donation para pag hindi pre kasi ganun yan eh. So, di ba? Tsaka hindi lang gagastusin yun for the athletes.
Yes.
Kasi we need to call a spade a spade. Alumni wants to help their schools. If they want to help their schools, unang papanda niyan, nanalo ba tayo? Lapit tayo sa sports. Uy, parang masarap mag-donate ng bagong building. Parang magandang magbigay rin ng parang arete building. Sa Ateneo, di ba? It's a newly constructed. Para sa amin, may MVP hall, may mga gym, may ganyan. And that's the reality of it. Affluent and wealthy alumni want to help out their younger brothers. And if KQ, it takes them 1.25, ilang alumni yun na produce ng eskwela. Ganun yan magkakaroon ng pool na, ano ba naman yung 10,000 ibibigay nila eh, they're earning so much being connected with KQ. And he would be a billboard, not only for Lasal, but also for the people.
Parang barya lang ata.
Yun nga.
Forever yan. Nakadugtong sa pangalan ng KQ ang DLSU, ang Lasal. Forever. Manonood
Tsaka
din ng games pag nag-retire na yan in the future.
How the market is trending now in terms of college basketball and the output, yung production ng isang Kevin Kiambao, he deserves to get paid.
Ito tanong ko. Camera guys, sumagot kayo Pag sinabi Alvin Patrimonio, ano naalala nyo? Pure Foods, di ba? Pag sinabi Johnny Abarientos, Alaska. So pag may brand recognition di ba? Laging gano'n. Gano'n talaga yan. You'll be a walking big billboard. And this guy is an upstanding guy. Pati yung mga nagso-social media, natatag niya.
Si LeBron James, anong team?
LeBron James dahil?
Wala. Kasi palipat-lipat.
He has his own brand.
He is.
Okay. Kung yan ang napupusuan na Lasal, labas tayo saan. Kasi pero nila yan Programa nila yan.
Tama.
Pero I think they will make
they would make a strong push. Kasi he could have left.
They're not just gonna let him walk
Of
just
course.
like that.
Bigyan pa nga ng dalawang manok.
Isipin mo, pinayagan nila maglaro ng ligang labas.
During season,
During season!
Ganyan katindi yung Kevin Kiambao.
Diba?
Kasi sa amin, pre, sa NC, pag naglaro ka ng ligang labas, forfeit lahat ng laro mo, suspended.
Diba?
Tatanggalin
Wala
ka
kang
sa team.
allowance.
Wala ka namang allowance.
means-
Mawawala ka pa ng meal.
That only means Lasal will do everything that it can. Di ba pinayagan mo maglaro ng ligang labas Itong offer na to, they will do everything that in their power to keep a Kevin Kiambao.
Pero pre, wala naman kasi sa fine print ng rules. Pwede naman pala maglaro. Huwag lang sa ibang team lang.
Pero the fact na pinayagan mo, kasi usually,
hindi naman ako yung nagbabayad ng allowance. Bahala siya dyan. Okay, last comment tayo.
may leeway.
Of course. Okay yung ginagawa. Ian Makabagdal. Okay yung ginagawa ng PBA na nagsasali ng guest team. Sana dalasan at damihan pa nila yung isasali. Iba kasi ang pride nating mga Pinoy pag foreign teams ang kalaban. Gawin nilang total of 16. Maganda yan. Teams para masaya. Invite kayo, kaya natin Lakers para kasama si LeBron. Yung security pa lang ni LeBron yan. Mahirapan na tayo.
It's good to have a guest team, but if there's teams that are feeding talent to the upper echelon of the league, talagang tatamarin ka manood Di ba? So sa akin, kung hindi matatanggal yung sister teams, yung mga farm teams na lang, the alleged farm teams. Kasi ang hirap pag independent, rain or shine ka, you're building talent, you're drafting good talent. Tapos yung mga kalaban mo, nagda-draft na sila sa first round, may nagda-draft din para sa kanila. Dun sa first round, sir, basically 2 versus 1 yung talent mo. Di ba? Talent pool mo. Paano ka lalaban sa ganun? So sa akin, kasi the sister teams are competing kahit sister teams sila, they're competing. For me, yung talaga yung mga nagbibigay talaga ng mga talents, di ba?
Ako naman, yes, nakita naman natin maganda yung kinalabasan nung naglaro yung Bay Area against Ginebra to Game 7. Diba? That was good for the league, for me. Kaso ang problema nun, ang laki nung ginagastos ng Bay Area tsaka itong Hong Kong Eastern. So, hindi siya ideal Walang team ang gagawa nun on a regular basis Medyo lucky lang tayo pumayag itong mga teams na to dahil deep pockets nila. Pero sinong magagastos ng ganun kalaki para maglaro and anong benefit sa kanila? So, it's ideal but I don't see it happening
At the same time,
very
di ba,
often.
makita mo, pag hindi Ginebra yung naglalaro, ang daming bakante talaga.
Of course.
Okay. So yun yung apat na comments.
Invite daw yung Lakers.
Invite natin si LeBron, security pa lang. Sa lahat ng mga ka-SPNation natin, follow nyo yung Sports Plus on all platforms. Nagpo-flash Sports Plus PH on TikTok, Instagram,
Facebook,
YouTube, and share nyo yung mga videos namin, yung mga pics namin, pakit-tabulate. Magic producer.
Check natin.
Check natin. Kasi dami na nating episodes Okay. So, with that being said, maraming salamat po. Dino, Ayel, maraming salamat. Bukas, NCAA Finals, game number 2, Mapua leads.
Game 1 ng UAAP.
Oo, tapos game 1 ng UAAP.
Sunday ba?
I think Sunday. Mapua leads 1-0 against CSB, awarding din. And on the following day, it's the UAP Finals between UP and LaSalle. For these two gentlemen, of course, pag nakatadhana, yan ang mangyayari para kay KQ, para sa mga teams na maglalaro. Hopefully, Mapua gets the championship. Next, after
we'll
your
see.
dad's
CSB,
championship.
let's go,
CSB.
Feel ko game 3 yan, but we'll see.
I'll be doing the
Kapit,
game.
ano namin yun eh.
Ikaw ba?
Sister school
I'll
namin.
be doing the game tomorrow. So
Sister
hopefully,
school namin yun.
Gusto nyo pa shoutout?
itag nyo lang ako
Pa-shoutout.
ng itag. Tapos, syempre, yun, back-to-back
Sweep na ba? Sweep na ba?
Back-to-back ng Lasal, pre, at saka against UP. So, tingnan natin kung ano ang tinadhana. Pero iwanan ko kayo ng magandang sabi kayo. Sinabi ni great philosopher Rico Blanco, tadhana ay overrated minsan. Kita tayo next week. Maraming salamat. Happy weekend, everyone!
There's a bunch of different things that just like put it all together. Everything has like a different meaning.